How would you like to have a DJ a part of your events that knows all the behind the scenes? I now get to talk to Colin from Feedback Event Services. Colin, can you please share with us about your company and how it has evolved over the 20 years?
I started this business in college, and I had always a big interest in music, and I was always the guy who used to take his family's stereo apart and play the parties in people's backyards. So as I was looking for a job, something that I could do to help maintain my financial status at school, I was able to make the contacts to get into playing music at events. And my high school, actually, the auditorium was used for events as well. So I was trained to run the soundboard and the lighting board and do all of the behind the scenes for events. And some events needed music played. They'd have a party afterwards. So because I had the stereo, I was the guy to play the music. And while I was in college, that interest grew. So obviously we started getting more professional equipment. We started attracting friends who were interested in music. Sometimes I did events where I needed help. So I'd get people to come. And over the years of college, developed into a team of about 12 people who are all doing it to get through school, but all people that really enjoyed music.
Do you think because you have your wedding certification that really helps the brides and grooms on the day of?
So I found that the more we were involved in the wedding, the more value we created for ourselves, not just as a company, but as an industry in general. So there was a decision to learn more about what the bride and groom had to do to plan for their wedding and see where we could help them as far as supporting them with the entertainment services. So if it came from cocktail music and what type of music was played and how to create the atmosphere, right to what would we do as an MC, or how could we coach their MC so that the flow stayed smooth and that everything stayed on track. I literally tell every couple, if everyone's in the mood to party at 9:30, it's an easy job for us. So that was part of my decision to assist as much as I could. The other thing is, I think it's very important to speak the language of other people at an event. It's harder to coordinate yourself with the photographer, videographer, wedding planner if you don't really know their world. So part of the reason I took the wedding planning certification was to understand the priorities of everyone else at the wedding so that we could assist in their success as well.
You can give the best because you know all the behind the scenes.
Well, for sure, and we can speak the language.
Could you say that your role is kind of a coach for the couples?
Definitely. I want the bride and groom to understand what the experience is going to be like at their wedding. It is very overwhelming, and I have always told couples that they're still the host of a dinner party. So I want them to still have that role without looking at a schedule, without having to tell people what to do. So whatever we can do, either as the DJ or as the MC, to relieve some of that pressure from them, we want to do that. And if that comes to helping plan the itinerary, if that comes to giving them situations, anecdotes, to give them a plan B or other options, or just to help make them understand that going with the flow throughout the night is going to make them happier instead of stressed, we try to provide that support before the day comes.
Tell me a little bit about your team members and how you find the right DJ for the couple.
Well, first of all, I have always made sure to have people in my circle that enjoy music and enjoy entertaining as much as I do. I think that's one of the key reasons why we draw couples to us. We genuinely love to play music. We genuinely love to be at a party that is going well. We don't need to be the center of the party, but we just want to be part of the success. So over the years, I've met people with those same goals. And we found a strength in working together instead of working against each other. So when it comes to choosing the right DJ, we do a lot of planning in advance. And we'll coordinate the music that they like to have. We coordinate their likes as far as the atmosphere they want to create, even personal interests. And all of that information will then give me an idea of who would fit into that mold correctly. And we want a DJ who feels natural in an environment and not a DJ who's going to be struggling through a process just because they're not familiar with a certain type of music, for instance. So I find that if I were to assign someone in advance of learning all that information, they might not be the right person for that wedding. And it's harder to tell a bride halfway through the planning process that, you know what, I have somebody better in mind than it is actually to halfway through the planning process say, hey, this is the exact person that would be right for your wedding.
How far in advance does a couple meet the DJ for their wedding day?
We try and coordinate about 30 to 60 days in advance to make the introduction. What I want to do is make sure that all the planning has been done before they meet the DJ. So that opportunity is really to get to know each other and to review everything instead of going through the planning process. Now, some couples figure out everything very early, and if you're ready 6 months in advance, then why not meet your DJ then? Some couples have a lot on their plate, and it takes them till the very last minute to really put their planning in place. So I will always have DJs that are in line, ready to go, and often even just meeting the couple before they book, I already have somebody in mind. But again, I want to make sure that it is the right person when they meet them.
How does Feedback Event Services stop from having a cookie cutter wedding?
We enjoy doing weddings, and we want every wedding to be unique for us as well, not just for the couple, because it keeps us excited, it keeps everything fresh for us as an entertainer. And the best way to do that is to try and make every wedding as different as possible. I always tell every couple, imagine that your guests are going to 2 or 3 other weddings for the summer, and what can we do that they remember yours over the others? So whether it's picking songs that reflect your personality, whether you have a theme of something that is a personal interest to you. If you love movies, we could play movie themes. If you love sports, we could play sports themes. Let's try and make this really reflect who you are, on top of the fact that it's a joyous occasion.
What feedback has your company received?
Well, the biggest thing is that we get a lot of people from the entertainment industry that book us to do their weddings. We get wedding planners that book us, we get other DJs that book us, we get performers that book us, and the reason is that we really just have a genuine interest in making a great party. We are not there to steal the show. We're there to fulfill whatever role that the couple would like us to fill. Some weddings, we are the host. Sometimes we're there just to support their MC, or we're there to create the environment. And again, anytime that we've done our job well, people are gonna ask, who was your DJ? And that's really what we wanna do.
Word of mouth and referral is really the biggest compliment, isn't it?
And I'd say it's probably the majority of how we meet couples in the first place.
What is something you feel couples should know about hiring you for their wedding day?
I want every couple to know that we're just easygoing people. We're easygoing people that love parties, that love music, and they can call us for as much assistance as they need, or we will step back and let them do as much as they want. We don't have a mold that they need to fill. We have experience that we like to share, and we just like everyone to know in advance the pros and cons to all the options that they have, because you really only have one chance to make it right.
And you want to make it right. You want it so memorable.
Of course. I mean, I'd rather people call me because they had a great time at a party than to be looking at me up in a classifieds ad.
Tell me about the packages or what type of events you've already hosted.
To be honest, I'm the anti-package guy. And I've worked so many years with other DJ companies that had packages. And one of the biggest struggles was couples trying to figure out whose package is going to really fulfill their needs or their wishes. So as I branched out, I decided, why don't we make ourselves work for the couples? So I listened to what they need, and sometimes they just need a DJ. Sometimes they just want someone to come and play the best music. Sometimes they need a DJ and an MC, or they need an MC that's just going to work with a friend or family that are going to speak for them. But sometimes we come in and we do the whole show. We provide speakers, we provide lights, the dry ice, the strobes, the lasers, the decor lighting. We've transformed venues from residences. We've gone to facilities that are not designed for events and been able to put in everything that you need to turn it into a successful event venue.
Worked your magic.
Yeah, so it's the range that we can provide, I think, is the biggest thing.
Again, Colin, thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the new couples.
Like he said, he's looking forward to meeting all the new couples, so go to the Showcase Wedding website and click on the link for Feedback Event Services.